Welcome to the month of December 2023 for the rising sun and moon signs of Gemini. This is going to be a wonderful month for money matters. Some really important lucky breaks and turning points can be coming your way, as well as some significant developments in the area of the chart that represents your work routines and health routines. Let's get started and talk about how this month favors you. It is a breath of fresh air after the intensity of October and November. Now, first of all, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothy, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, minor asteroids, and fixed stars to help you navigate your life and make decisions based on your best timing. Now, understand also that this is general astrology, so it's not a personal reading, but it does apply, especially to the rising sign. But you can listen for sun and moon secondarily. I have a really brief promotion. I'm just going to spend 35 seconds or less telling you that the month of December's promotion is join my Patreon community for $5 a month, early access ad-free, and get 3 courses, 1 live and 2 pre-recorded. Are You My Person? Synastry, Chiron and the Key to Purpose, and then how to use Chiron for timing tools that I'm teaching in December. And you can come live and get the replay for that as well. All for just giving me a try on Patreon, seeing if you like my monthly meetings, the classes I teach there, and everything else. So everything about Patreon is in the description box below. So let's start with the basics. This is a breath of fresh air as the wind blows my hair in this window, because we had such an intense time in the month of October with those eclipses, and in the month of December with an intense Scorpio moon, as well as a cazimi. That cazimi plays out over 2 years, not just back on November 17th, 18th. I encourage you to listen to the cazimi video, because you'll learn a lot about how your next 2 years will unfold based on that cazimi and based on your rising sign. And that is in my description box. You can click down there to watch that replay. It's on my channel. But I like December. It's a lighter month. It feels easy. There's some positive things happening. We have far more positivity in the month of December than negativity. And let's talk about how that looks for you. First of all, we're going to go through the whole idea of what planets are doing and what they're doing where, and why I even said in the intro, this is a good money and work and health routines month. And then we're going to do the chronology bit by bit, like every day, what happens next. So starting with some general thoughts and themes, right? Number one big story theme is that Venus, the goddess of love and money, in Scorpio, is traveling through your 6th house of work and health routines. She'll be in Scorpio, and she'll be there from December 4th to the 29th. This is not her happiest place in general, because she's not as comfortable in Scorpio, but she's available for very deep work, deep dives into research, occult mysteries, a deeper understanding, trying to find what's true. When it comes to Venus in your 6th house, independent of what her signage is, she's definitely available to help you with better health and work routines, especially health. And she's a bit of a protectant here on health matters. She's also, when she's moving through this part of your chart, really likely to want to rustle up a pet, get you to buy a pet, spend more time with a pet, or come into contact with a really auspicious rental opportunity. Keep all of that in mind between, as I said, December 4th and the 29th. But as she's journeying through Scorpio, she does the 2 difficult things that are happening this month. For the most part, everything else is super swell. Number one, she's going through there and she opposes Jupiter retrograde at 6 degrees of your 12th house. And she gets into this sort of battle with Jupiter. And that's happening December 9th and 10th. It can look like a real intensity around a situation involving foreign shores and foreigners, foreign land, revenue from foreign lands, and some kind of showdown. Venus might want you to enjoy your work, take a break, lay back, do some magical seances, have some deeper mysterious enjoyment in the work space that you're in, whether it's that you're employed or you're self-employed, irrelevant. And Jupiter is wanting to bust a butt up there and make a lot of money from foreign countries, international revenue. But if it's not that conflict between pleasure and work and money, then it can be definitely a spiritual breakthrough and or a breakthrough energy where you're really pitted against some kind of desire to learn how to undo an addiction, a self-undoing, a bad habit, a self-sabotaging strategy in your life. And she's putting you to the test about how to do that, making you commit to it or work it out somehow, make a contract with another or yourself to like stop the thing that you shouldn't be doing, the cigarettes, the vapes, whatever you're doing, the wine, the beer, just stop. And so that's December, because for your health, right? So that's December the 9th and 10th. And then there's a shocking, surprising element on December 20 to 21 as she forms an opposition to Uranus in that 12th house. Now, because 12th house can be foreign countries, foreign travel, foreign residence, and revenue from foreigners and foreign places, you could have a very surprising financial outcome here. An opposition from Venus is not always a bad thing, and Uranus is just a shocking or surprising element. So something you're doing in the workplace can suddenly amplify as a very exciting career opportunity, work opportunity, new job opportunity, for example, especially if any of those opportunities come from faraway places or faraway people. So get ready for that. Is wow, excitement that it could come up around Christmas, the 2021st, but it can also feel somewhat gritty because it is an opposition. And finally, if you work in a coworker space, Venus here can be a coworker, especially female, and it may be that this coworker is having some shocking, surprising developments and you're witnessing it or you're seeing it, and it influences you as well. Now, what goes on in the Mars story this month is Mars is moving from November 24th to January 4th through the sign of Sag, which means the whole month of December he's direct and he's moving quickly through your 7th house. This is your significant love and business relationships. It can also be the audience and the clients. Now, you could be very passionately engaging those things, really working hard to reach out to those audience members or those clients, but also you could have some conflict with them. That's like very troll-like energy. Battles with your clients, disagreements with your audience, and your significant other may also be having a difficult time and may seem more forceful, aggressive, or challenging than normal. Now, it can be that they're going to have to cut away things or move in new directions or find some spark of passion, especially with the sun, passionate purpose. But nonetheless, this can be a hardship in relationship. And until perhaps December January the 4th, you have to be cautious here not to get entangled in battles with your significant other that are avoidable and unnecessary when Mars is traveling through the 7th house. That's just that simple. Or break from a client or have an argument with it or engage a troll, you know. My progressed sun is in Gemini, and I'm just going to have to say, I step back and release you to your own trolldom, you know, that kind of thing. I'm not going to engage. Do not engage. Legal contracts can be broken. Vows can be broken when Mars is in the 7th house. And so just keep that in mind as well. And it's ruled by Lord Jupiter, who happens to be busy in the 12th house of foreign countries and foreign lands, and not really paying much attention to that armed rebellion in your 7th house of significant others. So keep in mind that there's not a lot of supervision about what Mars is up to here. So you might have an off the rails business partner, marriage partner, or client to deal with in some way during the month of December. Now, you're equipped to deal with it, by the way, especially, I'm going to give you a tip, especially when Mercury retrogrades into Sagittarius, okay? That's going to open up a gateway or a doorway or an opportunity for you to be able to mitigate any kind of conflict that may be emerging in a significant relationship, because Mercury will be retrograding on, let me double check the date. I think it's December 22nd. Yep. So on December 22nd to the end of the month, you can actually work magic on any difficulties in those conflictual relationship areas as you are able to use motivational negotiations, or your partner can access motivational negotiations as well and be more inspired to find a happy ending. Moving forward for the rest of the month, let's get into the Mercury story. You're a Mercury ruled being. You're a Gemini, so you're sun, moon, and rising Gemini people. And Mercury is the planetary lord of that sign. Mercury is very busy doing very good things this month. This is a really good news story, plus a retrograde that's very complicated. And that's why you might want to listen to my Mercury retrograde video when it comes out by subscribing, liking, and following me. But in the beginning of the month, this is what happens with Mercury. First of all, Mercury is moving through Capricorn from December 1st to the 22nd. But he will retrograde on the 12th and 13th at 8 degrees of Capricorn. That's your chunky money house. So until that happens, December 1st to the 12th, 13th, you're moving forward in investments in banks and negotiations, accountants, lawyers, not lawyers, but like, you know, work in the books, looking at the books, figuring out your finances, communicating and negotiating and talking to your significant love and business partners about shared resources. You're on it. But then there's this like, oh, let's go backwards. And so Mercury goes back over old ground to reseal a deal or to check out the details, and will retrograde right all the way through until, by the way, January 1st. But his retrogradation has him cross into your house of business business and love partnerships and legal agreements and contracts on December 22nd to the end of the month. And that's when it's really good for you to really go over some deep ground of agreements, negotiations, and discussions around shared money and resources with a significant business or love partner. Because believe me, those conversations will likely be here anyway. As Mercury goes retrograde through your partnership house, as I said, 22nd to the end of the month, this is when you can smooth things out if there has been emotional difficulty or turbulence, and you can have important healing conversations. Moving into the incremental story, month by day by day. Let's do that. Mercury is moving through Capricorn direct, sextiling Saturn at the beginning of the month from the 1st to the 3rd. This is going to feel to you like a very auspicious time because Lord Mercury in the 8th house of that chunky money flows to Saturn in your career and reputation space. It's both planets in direct motion, some serious financial momentum in a career or a reputation or job situation that's going to feel very easy and beneficial. Maybe a bonus payment, severance package, payout, an offer to buy stock, something like that. Or maybe even just your work is going so well, you're able to pay off a debt. And then we're looking at December 5 to 6, and then Venus trines Saturn. Venus is moving, through Scorpio. We mentioned that, but she flows to Saturn in the 10th house, almost picking up where Mercury left off and saying, what do we want to happen here? We want you to find something good and positive and delightful happening in the workspace with your colleagues, coworkers, rentals, tenancies, and pets as it applies to this masterful authority you're trying to establish in the next 2.5 years in your career and reputation space, even including some of you retiring in the next 2 to 3 years on the top of your game. So this sweet moment of time, December 5th to the 6th feels like a glow up in the workspace for you and career space. We move then to December 7th to the 9th and you feel, wow, Mercury, my Lord, my guy, my planet is flowing to Jupiter, luck and opportunity. Some financial opportunity, some luck about money, some goodness coming through, especially it involves backroom deals and negotiations, foreign shores and foreign lands, foreign countries and foreigners to your birthplace. That same flow, Mercury trine Jupiter, will happen again. It's not a one-off deal. Okay, so I want you to think about it that way. It's going to happen again in his retrogradation on December 17th to the 19th. So you have two positive, plucky moments of success. The retrograde can be a separate issue, like good luck coming from the past retrograde, to do with situations involving finances. Like, I don't know, the stock that you thought was dead takes off again, or an old investment opportunity returns. Mercury rules your house of property, land, and real estate. Some of you may be looking at December 7th to 9th and December 17th to 19th with stories that are very fortunate to do with property, land, home, and real estate, and things also from the past. Opportunities that come from places you've been or places you've traveled or things that you've done before. As we move into the rest of the month, and I'm not going to do Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus, we talked about that, but there is a flow between Venus and, this is such a lovely feeling, between Mercury in Capricorn, December 11th, 12th, just before he retrogrades, and Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Now, this is Venus, again, trying to help you with work, love, and money stories. I mean, she's prioritizing better work routines and pleasure in your work and better health. So keep in mind, that's what she wants for you, right? And now she's going to have a conversation with Mercury in the 8th house of your psychology, your forbidden territory, some of your darker unconscious complexes, or your psychology. But she's also going to be able to say, well, we need some money over here, because we want some more fun, or we want work to be pleasurable, or we want to improve our health in some way. So you could get some money coming to you in order to take that spa trip, or that money coming to you so that you can take some days off work, or some positive financial developments that relieve you of the joylessness of some sort of work situation or the hardship, so that it can feel more pleasurable and more profoundly satisfying. And that energy that Mercury, your Lord, offers up with her is December the 11th, 12th, give or take a few days on either side. Now, Venus rules the 5th house of leisure travel, so there may be an opportunity for a leisure travel event on December 11th, 12th, give or take a few days, give you a break from work. So simple. A little tension in the sky with the sun squaring off with Neptune, December 16th and 17th, sun in the marriage house, may not be about you. Business partner, client, significant other, squaring off with the career situation, some disillusionment, some frustration or confusion, some uncertainty, maybe in the life of another person, not yourself, around career matters or things going on in your career space that are really quite powerfully positive for you, and some objection from a client, business partner, or significant other. And you'll have to deal with that confrontation energy, maybe December 16th to the 17th. And if you're new to my channel, like and subscribe. Don't forget, I got the Patreon promotion for the month of December to usher a bunch of newbies into my community by January. Give me a try, get the free gifts. I mean, come on, it's like $120 worth of free gift value. If you want to jump into my Patreon community, give me a try and then quit for a $5 investment. It's a no-brainer, guys. No risk, all gain. All right. Thanks for listening. I wish you guys a wonderful Christmas. And I'm recording for Patreon on November 18th. They get this way before you guys do, and ad-free early access. So if you like that kind of thing, just check it out. Big hugs to all of you and have a wonderful month ahead.